Hey guys, welcome back to Spooky Tuesday, a weekly podcast where we're breaking down all of our favorite slashers, thrillers, monster movies, and black comedies on the new scariest day of the week. I'm Cindy Thompson.
I'm Monica Height.
And I'm Chelsea Duff. And you guys, this weekend, who's excited? Who's getting crazy? Who's ordering their chicken wings in advance?
Wow.
You?
I'm excited for this because I now have a place to go. It's really fun. And I felt emotions last year. I cried a little bit. But that was because the Eagles were in it and all the people that I was with are from Philly. And so it's very emotional. But this time around, maybe the Rams will be in it. You guys already know that. We don't know.
I'm ready for the Bad Bunny halftime show. Also, Green Day is gonna be there, and Charlie Puth.
They heard we did Begonia last episode, and they said, "Oh, they did Begonia. We got to get Green Day."
Oh,
they said you were mad that Benito isn't American. Here's an American band who keeps saying "fuck Trump" every time they're on set.
It was a shock to me to find out that Green Day was American when I was a child because I really thought they were British, and I just was sure of that. And
that's
like
so interesting. I was gonna say
American
Canadian
band ever. They're so American. They're talking about American politics. I just thought they were
American Idiot.
I thought they were interested. I thought that they were British people hating on Americans because that is what I've been trained to know.
Anyway, there's no hating America like an American baby.
I went to their American Idiot concert tour in like 9th grade.
Ooh.
Maybe one of the greatest shows that I've ever been to. Also seeing them at the Palladium a couple years ago was like really great.
I like cried at Coachella like both times they played last
They're so
year when
good.
I
love a chaotic
amazing.
Bisexual.
Oh my god, he's so chaotic. It's so amazing. Wow, well I didn't know that was happening.
The most amazing halftime show ever. I don't know. There's a lot of really great ones.
Okay,
and also this is not my business. Yeah, so I'm gonna dial it back a little. I was just trying to do a transition between show to football movie. Anybody ready to start the game? Because this week don't laugh.
Wait, actually,
why are you laughing?
I'm gonna have to bleep out bleep. We can only refer to it as the game.
Okay, the game.
You can say superb owl, and I think we can get away with it.
I'm gonna have to bleep everything out because they'll sue you. You can't say it on air
because they've got their trademark.
Yeah.
All right.
You can't say it on this podcast.
I don't know if you can say.
I don't want to risk
all the time. I'm
law.
just gonna
superb owl. Superb owl.
I'm not saying that.
It's the big
I'm gonna say superb owl.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, if you want to act like you're from 2007, that's your call.
Think about it. It's super, and then the first letter of the second word.
We know
on the end. Okay, well, I thought Sydney authentically didn't get it, and so I was trying to explain it to her. I wasn't sure, and so I was trying to be helpful. Anyway, what movie are we doing, Chelsea?
This movie that we're doing this week for the big game is Him from 2025. Came out last year, I think in the fall.
In September.
Yeah, and got some pretty terrible reviews. They like held the reviews. The embargo was until like the day it came out, and then everybody was like, "This sucks and I hate it." And Marlon Wayans was like, "That's cool, guys. You guys are just doing your job as critics, but like, let's let people see the movie. Maybe they'll like it." People thought Scary Movie was bad at first too, and then guess what? Now it's a classic. So he's like, maybe in 20 years I'll be vindicated. But we could vindicate him right now if we liked the movie. I'd seen it before. Monica, you had also seen it, but Sydney, your first time.
I loved Marlon Wayans in this. I thought he did so, and I haven't seen him in something in like a while, right?
Minute.
Like,
and he doesn't get serious roles very often,
right? And like he was so like expressive in his face and like just so sexy and creepy.
Yeah.
I will say, I still don't know how I feel about Julia Fox as an actress. I love her as a personality.
Yeah.
But I don't know how I feel about her as an actress. Like,
but I feel like she's being Julia Fox for the most part in this role, so I think it works.
Yeah.
but still,
I
like,
agree.
Have
I
you
don't
seen
know.
Uncut Gems? Me, I
No.
have
Uncut
not seen it either.
Gems?
So
Oh,
no.
you
I
need to
haven't.
see Uncut Gems. You need to see Uncut Gems. That's like the movie for her. Obvi, everybody like knows that, but like you should see it. It will make you want to die. My dad and I saw it in the movie theaters on Christmas, and he started screaming out loud, "Oh God! Oh no!" Like that. And I was like, "Dad, we're in public. You can't do this. You can't." So that's the type of movie it is. It's a safety movie. What are you gonna do? But I get it. I get it. It's a divisive movie. We can be divisive about Julia Fox.
I just went to look at her IMDb to see what else she was in, and I forgot that she was in Presence for 1 second. She's like a realtor there for 1 second.
That was a highlight for me of the film. I did not like that one though.
But yeah, I can't say I've seen her do much acting. I feel like I mainly see her be Julia Fox. And maybe that's because she played herself in an episode of Adults. But I feel like I've primarily seen her do herself or a version of herself. So, but I liked her in this role. It felt like a fun. I thought this movie was like pretty well cast overall. And what I thought you were gonna say before, Sydney, when I thought we were mind melding and we weren't, and that's why I was like, wait, don't say it until we can have everybody's reaction on camera. But Tom, the agent, tell me that's not Adam. Monica's fiance, Adam.
Girl, where the fuck have you been? I'm so sorry to be so frank with you. Adam has been obsessed with Tim and Eric and Tim Heidecker for 45,000 years since the dawn of time. That is Tim Heidecker. He has become him through osmosis from watching his comedy for so long. We have been saying this for literally a decade. For Halloween one year, he was Tim Heidecker for Halloween.
But the styling in this movie, he doesn't always look like that.
They have looked the exact same for Tim Heidecker has looked like this for like 7 years, and
making
Adam
business
like
deals on phone
for this entire time.
I did not see it. I
think
not
this role in particular,
Adam
to me, it's like uncanny. It's crazy.
Like he was making Tim's fucking faces. Adam is not a cunt.
If you told me that Adam got that haircut to look like Tim, I'd be like, sure. But the styling in this movie,
haircut to look like Adam. Yeah.
They're meeting in the middle is what's happening.
I think he knows about him. Okay. Yeah, no. This has been a thing for a long time, so I'm glad you're cluing in. I might be blood related. They might be blood related in some regard, which I would love to find out about because I love that man. I love him in horror. Remember when he was in Us?
I saw that he was in Us, but I don't remember who he was in Us.
Do you remember the white family in Us?
Oh, is he the husband?
It's like he is the husband.
Okay.
Yeah,
I just remember Elizabeth Moss,
and then family, and they get fucking massacred. Spoiler alert,
as does almost everybody.
Yeah, theirs is pretty fun though. But yeah, he's great at playing a white motherfucker in horror movies. That's like kind of his whole steez these days. But anyway, yeah. Okay, wait. Did you like it though, Sydney? Did you like it on first watch? How did you feel? You said something happened.
She wants to tell you about her experience.
What happened to you? What happened to you?
Chelsea, did you read the IMDb logline for this? Did I miss it?
Oh, no, I didn't. Oh my God. Good catch, Queen. Love you.
Do that because then
get in there, girl.
Tell people what this movie is so then I can tell them my experience.
Yeah. If you guys haven't watched him and you've decided to listen to this episode anyway, let me lay it out for you. The logline on IMDb reads, a young athlete descends into a world of terror when he's invited to train with a legendary champion whose charisma curdles into something darker. That's a great fucking logline.
Curdles into something darker?
Ooh, that's delicious.
Ooh, that's the sexiest one we've read in so long.
Like, I don't want to say, but like that has a great mouthfeel.
No, that's a good logline.
Yeah. Legendary champion whose charisma curdles. There's like
terror when he's letters train.
The CH in champion, the charisma. Oh my God. It's a feast.
Good work. Yeah.
Whoever wrote that, 5 stars.
Was it one of the writers?
It was me.
Bronchi?
I did it.
No. I was making a joke about the guy's name being Skip Bronchi, which is the craziest name I've heard in a minute. Anyway, Sydney, how did you feel?
All right.
What happened to you?
It's a Saturday night. I do what Wong does on Saturday night and take some movie enjoying supplements.
Oh no.
But unfortunately for me,
immediately,
it's gonna be bad.
my movie watching supplements haven't really been working as well as they normally do.
No. Oh no.
So, the night before, I took 20 milligrams and watched Phantom of the Opera, and like nothing really happened.
You sent me a really good text though.
Yeah, but so, guess who decided to say "fuck it, we ball" and took 40?
Are you scared? I'm scared. That's so scary.
Sydney.
Sometimes
really
Sydney texts me and is like, I'm taking a movie going supplement and I'm watching this thing and I'm always like, that was maybe for a second watch. I don't know. That'd be very fun. But the first watch, you tell me how it's going to go, I guess.
40 milligrams. Okay,
like,
keep
I'm
going.
taking a movie watching supplement and I'm watching the first episode of Pluribus. I was like, okay.
That's an interesting one. Okay, what happened next? What happened next? I'm sitting at the edge of my seat here.
Okay, so do you want to know when it kicks in?
No.
Right before he's at like the combine or something, and he's walking down that tunnel and he sees that small tiny man and a sombrero.
No, the red man with the white eye makeup thing. Oh no, that part's so gross. The sound.
And he doesn't say anything. He just removes his.
He's just
yeah,
like making like mouth noises and like like
I
gross.
was just like, oh no, what is this? And then I was like, and the dogs were like acting weird, and I was just like,
and there's also like a Cat 5 snowstorm going on right now where you are.
And like, it's just been this whole thing. And then, so I needed to do a Patreon shout out. And you know the movie Chappie, the 2015 like robot movie?
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do.
So
with Die Antwoord in it, you don't remember the Die Antwoord robot movie? I didn't see it, but I was very intrigued that they were in it.
Okay, so I, who loves Die Antwoord, also saw this movie when it came out. But so then I had weird dreams that Chappie the robot did not like. Came and arrested me because Chappie, our patron, did not like my shout out, and then I was abducted to a facility like this and like put through rigorous like podcast training.
No, Chappie, you're getting you had a cameo in Sydney's dream as a robot.
Not only did you get your patron shout out, you're getting episode shout out and dream shout out.
And dream shout out. Wow, like, we passed it to the subconscious coil.
To the point, I was like texting Chelsea earlier today, and I was like, "I'm so stressed out. I am scared. Like, what do I do?"
Dude.
Well, I hope she nailed the shout out. I hope you liked it, Chappie.
I
don't send her to podcast training camp.
Please don't turn into a robot and send her to podcast training camp. I'm so sorry, Queen. It's not my fault that you took 40 milligrams, but I'm sorry that happened to you. This movie is a trip sober. It is a disjointed trip sober. And so, like, it's super divisive. Like, it's got, like, a half score, which is not fresh on, like, pretty much everything. Half or below. But I feel like this is one of the movies where, like, I research it and I start to like it a little bit more. That doesn't, like, solve the ills of viewing it and feeling the way you feel when you view it, because like I think that it is a very disjointed story. Like, it's not a disjointed story, but like some of the storytelling is like a little bit hard to parse, and it gets so like art housey and so like vibe over like plot that like it's kind of just like what is going on, and then I get what's going on, and then it's also like pretty overt with some of the themes that it's trying to break down at times, so it can be a little annoying. But something that I read that made me like this movie so much more and makes the whole thing make sense why you don't know what the fuck is going on is because it's supposed to be obviously like you're in what's his name? Cam/Tyriq Withers' head, and he has just had a severe brain trauma. And apparently the way that this is like disjointed, the way the lights look, the way it's like disorienting is like very true to life to people who've had like severe concussions. And I saw like countless comments on videos and like all the different analysis things that I read and like different articles where people are like, this felt like very true to life for having a traumatic brain injury. Like it felt like you're living that. And that made me like it a lot more. But I've never had a concussion. And so when I watched it, I was like, what the fuck is going on? You know, but I did really like that they nailed that apparently. Can't speak to it though.
This movie kind of reminded me a lot of Tua Tagovailoa, who was a quarterback for Alabama and now is the quarterback for the Miami Dolphins. And he has had like numerous concussions, right? And they're always like, he shouldn't be playing football, but he's like going back and playing football and then getting more head injuries and stuff like that. And it's like the whole time where they're like, he's had this head concussion, like he shouldn't be doing it, but he's like, no, I need to do this. Like, I need to be great for, you know, my father, even though I don't really like the sport, but it's for daddy.
Mm.
And I don't know, Tua probably
Yeah.
likes the sport, but who knows?
Yeah, I think that that's one of like this. That's the thing with this movie is that like when I thought of horror plus football, I guess I had an expectation of what that the themes that that would be exploring. And I think that, you know, Justin Tipping, the director here, went in a different sort of direction with it. But like there's a lot of different ways. It doesn't there's a lot of different facets of football and there's a lot of different ways that it is horrifying. But he went more into like like the toxic masculinity and the like putting your body above your mind and all of that sort of thing, which like is a huge part of it. But like I don't know, I didn't expect it to turn into like a devilly cult kind of thing necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hate that. I didn't hate that at all. I do feel like everything is a devil cult these days. In horror, I feel like that happens
and also in real life,
all the
like our
time.
podcast.
It's true. That's true. It's true. Except we're turning into vampires.
Yes, exactly.
So it's a little bit different, but yeah, similar in a lot of ways. But yeah, like I thought like it does body horror, but I thought it would be like more body horror. I don't know. I just didn't expect it to have the tone that it had and to be so not psychedelic, but almost psychedelic in the
It's
visuals.
really surrealist a little bit.
Surreal,
like,
yeah.
Like with the masks and stuff like that. Like, who there was like a 70s surrealist ball. Like, who was that? Who had that? It was like a rich family.
Ugh, that rings a bell, but I don't know the name off
I'm
the top of my
Googling
head.
it. Oh, the Rothschild. I was like, because I like they had it was like this incredible ball with like the masks and like it really reminded me a lot of the last scene. I honestly texted Alex and I was like, what if for one of my birthdays we held a surrealist ball and everybody has to wear like paper mache masks?
Ooh, oh my god, that'd be so fun. Ooh, masquerade.
Like
that's
I
fun.
also did watch Phantom of the Opera, so I was like, masquerade.
Yeah. Top of mind.
Yeah, top of mind.
Also, like in reading about this, like Justin Tipping, like some of his biggest like visual inspirations for the movie aren't like based in the sports world. They're from artists like such as Jeff Koons, Edward Hopper, and then there's like some like super like vibey 1990s Nike ads that were influences for him. And then also this I thought I had it written down, but I don't have it. Who is the director of Triangle of Sadness? Jonathan Glazer?
That sounds right.
Jonathan Glazer did commercials and he did a commercial for Jordans and it's like super vibey, like slow-mo emotional. And that was another one of his really big influences for this movie too. And I was like, that's hilarious. But it made total sense. Like it makes sense that he has so much influence from the art world because like what I've been saying this whole time like to you guys and to my friends when people ask me about this movie, I was like, I didn't know that the world needed an art house football horror movie, but like I'm really glad it exists. Like, I don't think that it's bad this exists. It's just like
unexpected. Who was asking for this?
Yeah, that's the thing.
No one, but
I think this is a complicated movie that just struggled upon first release to find its audience, because I think generally speaking, art house horror people are not necessarily huge crossover with football fans. And I think a lot of football fans are not going to be necessarily interested in engaging with the art house approach. And I also feel like this movie skewers football as a business in 1,000 different ways, and the way that it works, and the racialized nature of it, and the way it mirrors American history, and all of those different elements. It like, if you come in being like, I love football, and then you watch this movie, the movie's gonna go, why do you love football, you stupid?
Well,
you know what I mean? So it's like,
I feel
oh,
like
this is what you love?
I feel like, though, I agree with you 100%, but if you go to any themed thing that you like plus horror movie, it's going to be a skewer of that thing. Like, there's no, like, I don't know, unless it's like clown horror movie and it's a celebration of clowns, but that's different, you know? Like, if it's an industry and they're turning it into a horror movie, like, it's usually going to be like a negative cultural commentary on it. But yeah, this one totally is. And actually was very educational.
Yeah.
Not that I know a ton about football already, but I
not that I'm
know a
fact-checking that.
shit ton more. I did. That it was
great.
right. Yeah. It was. We could talk about that, but yeah.
But yeah, I think it is also one of those things where it's like the timing of it politically is, you know, if it came out during Obama Hope and Change era, perhaps the people who like football would still be open to critique of racial exploitation in football. But coming out in a time where the people who, I mean, although, you know, everything is so crazy right now, I'm seeing all of these leftist takes online being like, who knew that we would end up with the Second Amendment in the NFL, question mark? In the Civil War split of America? So maybe
the leftists the times the NFL changing. And the Second Amendment.
But there's this like idea culturally in America that like football is Americana, football is, we salute the flag, we sing the Star Spangled Banners, we honor the troops, we put our blood, sweat, on tears on the field, just like our beautiful soldiers abroad, blah, blah, blah. And then to come in and be like, by the way, the whole thing is fucked and has always been fucked and has been built on the notion of being fucked is, I can see how it's divisive.
No, totally. Yeah, because it's like coming for everything. Like, because the whole thing, like, there's like 5 phrases they say 20 times, and one of them is God, family, football, or faith, family, football.
Football, family, God is what he says.
Yeah,
too.
That's how he flips it up, but it's usually the other way around.
Yeah,
but like, yeah, they're like coming for that too. They're obviously coming for that because, like, I mean, it's not obvious that it's a Satanist cult, but it is a Satanist cult. So like, they're like God, family, football. No, it's like Satan first. It's football, Satan. Satan's the number one thing probably because he's controlling everything, but they're not saying that. They're saying football.
That's our man, okay?
That's our man.
That's our guy.
Down below. So yeah, that's like gotta be like, if, for such a faith-centered sport, a lot of the time, just because of the, you know, reputations of the people who play it and how they present themselves.
You know, you're a college football athlete when you got a Bible quote in your Instagram bio.
Exactly.
God first, babe.
Yeah, so it's definitely coming for that. And then it's got a lot of like crazy, weird, irreverent visuals and stuff. But like, as far as like the military part that you're just saying and like the violence, like I had no idea about like the history of football in like in the context of the Civil War. I like that when the people came home from the Civil War, they were worried that their sons would be fucking pansies, scare quotes, because they wouldn't have a war to harden them. And so they got their kids involved in football and like drilled into them like military style discipline. Like there's a bunch of, and Sydney, you will insert words here maybe. There's a bunch of like crossover words, but like language between military tactics and like things in basketball, like different like running drills.
Offense,
insert words.
defense.
Yeah, like all there's a bunch of different like terms.
Yeah.
Girl,
yeah, those were the ones I was thinking of. I didn't know those words before, but that was it.
Well, okay, why do you know those words? Because of the military. No, I'm kidding. I have no idea. I literally have no idea. I don't know the details of it, but I just know that like military, like that military mindset was imbued into the game, and that like
False flag
creating
operation.
that
could be one.
The toxic masculinity that we see today, where these men are like put in, and sorry if you're a football fan, but like these men are like put in a situation where they have to like, and this is true for any sport a lot of the time, you have to put your body above everything. Like you have to put your, sorry, not your body, you have to put your body on the line to put the game above everything else. And so,
and to slay your enemies.
To slay your enemies on the fucking field, man, which is
On
the
the
battlefield, by the way.
The gridiron.
Which is what's so interesting, I think, about watching this movie the first time around before you know the ending, especially if you haven't guessed the ending ahead of time. All of the like gladiator talk and references, it kind of goes right over your head because it sounds like such a normal fucking way that serious football bitches talk about football, being like, it's life or death, blood on the field, 2 men enter, 1 man leaves.
No
like
guts,
you
no
can hear any
glory.
football guy saying that, and it's not until later you realize or understand like how seriously within this context they are saying these things. But they just, it's so easy to like let that wash right over you in the beginning and like not be, I mean, be horrified by it, but in a way that you're like, that could be real though. I'm not above normal horrified by it until you're getting near the end and you're realizing like, no, they're not fucking around with this gladiator concept.
No, it's crazy. And like, I mean, we're looking at Cam. This is who this movie is about. And like, it opens with him with his family watching this like glory moment for Zay or Isaiah. But it's also a horror moment because he gets a fucking compound fracture, which is something that I always really struggle with seeing ever since I saw Born on the 4th of July, the Tom Cruise movie. Spoiler alert, there's something with that in there. Really fucked me up in high school. But like, the fact that like just everything about that setup is so interesting, and they like imbue the fucking like religious fervor for football that this family and like everyone involved in this whole story has, like from moment one. Like everybody's watching the game, they're all watching it together like it's church. Like I read somewhere too, like there's a reason that football's too, on Sunday. There's a reason for that that's related to the church. What? Sydney can talk about it. I don't know. But that's a thing apparently. And like they literally have an altar. They have a fucking altar, a shrine to the saviors. They're called the saviors. Their jersey has a fucking corona of thorns around the neck of the jersey, like fucking Christ, man. Like Isaiah, his name is Isaiah. That is a biblical name. Like it's very, very, very over. And this is what I'm referring to with the like hitting you over the head with some of the symbolism here. It's very overt, but that doesn't always piss me off. You can go balls to the wall. It doesn't have to be subtle sometimes. Sometimes I like it when you go crazy. But like there's a whole altar. Every mascot's on the altar. There's candles. There's like Isaiah's picture in the middle. Like it looks like a religious shrine.
Yeah.
And then like just the way they all talk about it, like he's like 5 years old. He's like 6 years old.
Tiny baby. Yeah. So sweet and
cute.
little.
That actor is so cute. But everyone in the family is like, you're him. Like they're calling him.
I'm him.
They're having him say that from that age. And like, yes, it's like gassing him up, like being like, you're a bad bitch. You're going to be the best of the best. But also in line with it, gassing him up, it's also pushing him down with the pressure to meet that goal, to be him, when he's like a little boy, you know, he can't think about anything else except for being him. Like there's no time for being a kid. He has to sit at home and watch that compound fracture happen over and over and over again. Like it's really crazy.
And also too, I don't remember the guy's name. And I think he was on the New York Giants and they were playing the Bengals, and it was a couple years ago. We were doing a competitive puzzling night and the game was on.
I want to do that with
and
you.
this guy had like a cardiac arrest like on the field. It was like
I think I remember that.
He almost died, and they wanted the game to continue after this, and like both teams, like the players literally were like, fuck no, we're not doing that. Like what do you mean?
Heart attack on the are you
The show must go on.
What is his name?
Which is relevant for the first words spoken in this movie, which are sports, theater with real consequences. Which I could also see some football fans immediately being like, fuck off. What do you mean theater with real consequences? But they're performing for audience.
100% it is that. I don't think that would offend anyone. It's as emotional as theater if it's a good fucking game. I was at the Rams game where I got this hat a couple weeks ago. I felt things.
I knew it was a blue team, and I thought it was the Giants, but it was the Buffalo Bills, and his name was because he's still. I don't know if he's playing or not. Damar Hamlin.
I remember that.
Yeah,
that was crazy. That was so crazy. Oh, I'm so glad he's okay. Fucking nuts. Yeah, it's just. I mean, it's really a story of just like the lengths you have to go to succeed, and like all the sacrifices you have to make along the way. And it feels like so interesting, just even the beginning of this movie, like the way that everyone treats Cam besides his mom is like so bizarre to me. Like all of his friends, maybe his girlfriend's chill, she seems okay, but everybody else is like doing all those like him Kardashian, Timothy Chalamet. That's
okay, but
Heidegger.
That is so funny. Those are so funny.
Those are so funny. What did he say? My Timothy Chalamet, something.
My Kardashian, him Duncan, Timothy Chalamet. I wrote them down.
Yeah,
yeah. No, but then Tim's like, my little rabies boy. He's so crazy. He's so good at being himself, Tim. I mean, but like he's had this like severe head trauma. He was literally assaulted with a crazy hammer, and like no one is listening to him. Like his friend is like, you need a new haircut so you can look better on the TV. And he was like, I don't need a haircut. Oh, it's his brother. Fuck. He's like, I don't need a haircut. Like, and he doesn't. And it rips his fucking scalpel out, not scalpel, like staple out of his head. Like, it's just no.
Did you notice
one is understanding?
His head looked like a football.
Yes, yeah, love that.
I love that
also,
so much.
I've had staples in my head before.
Ooh, the symbols are so overt, though. It's like his head is a football. By the way.
Yeah.
And I was like, I get it. I got it. Yes,
okay.
Kelsey.
Question. This is a big theme question for the movie. Not that we haven't already said spoilers for the end. But at the end of the movie, it is revealed that he has been the target of a conspiracy since he was little enough to be like, chest thumping, I'm him, watching that Isaiah moment. Do we think that his brother is part of it now? Do we think that his brother is like working behind the scenes in some capacity with them the same way that his father was? Or do we think his brother is just being like manipulated perhaps in the same way? Or that his brother being raised by the same father but not being like the object of interest in that same way has found his like purpose within the family by stepping into that role now that the dad is gone? Like what is going on with the brother?
I don't know. I don't know if we get enough information to say definitively.
My guess is it's probably when you have like a family member who has like the possibility of going and making millions of dollars a year and like gaining like social clout and all that kind of stuff, like you're gonna be hyping, and also like you're gonna want to be like along for the ride, right? So like even if like he's maybe not in it, he knows what his like brother getting this is gonna do for him.
Yeah,
Well, but
because
here's
obviously he's not gonna be the football star. So this is his like ticket to closeness to fame. And also, not to bring up heated rivalry, but I will be all episode because that's my touch point. Like it's like Ilya and Alexei in that show, like, you know, like with the fame that will come for his brother, millions and billions of dollars will come, and you know, you want to be in it to reap some of those rewards. So I feel like it could be super sinister motivation, which is literally Satan. But it also could just be the normal like greed that comes with proximity to wealth and fame and success. Because unfortunately, that happens all the time. That's why they say it's lonely at the top.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean my cultural touch point for this particular sibling dynamic is from Industry Season 2. I'm on Industry Season 2 now.
Oh my God,
Um
big.
and spoilers a little bit for that, but they get into this dynamic between siblings where
I
one
don't
of
want to
them
get
was like a good athlete and the other one thought that they were like being encouraging, but then they were also just like putting too much pressure on them the same way that other people in their lives were. And so it was like that was part of like the issue between them. But it's interesting in this role. The reason why I think he might be like part of the conspiracy is because, and I don't think it means that he knows about like the Satanism of it all. He might just know like via what's his name? Tom. Via Tom that it's like we need XYZ to happen for him to get the invite to Isaiah's compound because he was maybe going to perform in that showcase until his brother clips him with the clippers and like opens his stitches back up. He was going to go out on the field potentially and do it the way that everybody else was doing it. And then he didn't do that. And that's when the call from Isaiah comes through, being like, well, come train with me privately on my compound and we can show the owners what you've got. So maybe there needed to be like that sabotage there. And was he part of the intentional sabotage or did it give them an opening? Were they just going to do it during training camp otherwise? Like, is this a fallback plan? I don't know.
Well, it can go, I think it could go either way, but I think that you could be onto something because also, like, again, we're talking about the end, but we have to talk about the end to talk about this whole movie because
It
it's a reveal.
contextualizes
It
everything.
contextualizes everything because, like, you learn at the end that, like, it's not just some random fucking guy that smacks Tyriq slash Cam over the head. It is the super fan or the mascot fan that is like in the employ of this Satanist cult. Like he's there at the end of the movie. So like they hit him over the head to isolate him so they could put him in a position where he would have to go to Isaiah to get what he wants, which is being in the league, you know. But also something else is revealed at the end, and it's not like super over, but like, and again, I didn't get to watch the end twice for this
I
one
wrote
this
down a lot
time.
of quotes if you need anything. So I might have
Well,
whatever you need.
and
Not,
there's
not
did y'all watch the alternate endings and the deleted scenes and stuff
No,
like
I
that?
didn't know those
No.
existed.
I did.
Oh
Okay,
my
wait.
God, she did her homework.
Pigeon pin
Yeah.
on that one. But like the whole thing was like the dad dies, right? The dad's
Yeah.
dead. Like it is alluded to maybe that he was killed
Oh,
to as a he was killed as a motivator for Cam because Cam was telling his dad that he wanted to quit, and that's the last conversation that they ever had. And so then they were trying to guilt him into staying because they had already been grooming him since childhood to be the next goat. So they're not gonna not get return on their fucking investment. And so they killed the dad. So like it would guilt him into staying. Like so okay, now the dad's dead and the dad was obviously the main motivator behind like him being a part of this cult. He is the one in the photo with the old white man who is the owner of the team and like the head honcho of the Satanist shit or whatever. But also like who's gonna take the reins after that? I don't think it was mommy. It could have been the brother if he was old enough, depending
yeah.
on age. So that
No,
could have
because
been a
the mom
passing of
seems very
the
clearly like a comforting, welcoming, you don't have to do this kind
do
of
this exactly.
influence.
Her and the girlfriend both seem to be like the only positive people in his life. Everybody else is like trying to get him to buy a watch, trying to get him to a party, trying to do whatever, like getting all up in his grill, not giving him space, not listening to him, nothing. Not that we get to see these people that often in this movie, but in those brief moments, like you learn a lot. He's very alone. Cam is very alone.
Yeah. No, I think it's super interesting the role that women play in this movie too, where you have the black women in his life who are really there for him and trying to like nurture and support him. And then you have Julia Fox as this counterbalance of like the white woman who is profiting off of the machine that is chewing up black men and spitting them back out.
And let's also not forget the other white woman in this movie, the crazy
Marjorie.
fam.
I was hoping you'd dress up as her, Sydney. Just
I'm
black
just
mascara
fan.
pooling down her face. That shit was crazy. I loved all of the costume design for this movie so much, and I loved what she wore. That was pretty classic, but like I loved her sons who were wearing those like football masks that are like apparently like either modeled off of or legitimately masks from the 80s. And like them in the all white. I know they're just supposed to be football boys, but I thought they looked like sperms. And that's all I could
a little bit
think of was that they looked like weird sperms. Don't know the symbolism of that. So that's all I have to say on it. But the mascots too, I thought was so interesting because I was so confused because there are three different mascots, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, why are there so many of them? And essentially, the three mascots is like a little bit of a joke on like how football teams have to like have been changing their mascots more recently because they've been like called out for being like racially insensitive and like culturally appropriative, a bunch of these mascots, especially towards like Native Americans. And so the first iteration is the Conquistador Larry. That's the guy with the helmet who Tyreek's like shoots in the head when he's doing the shooting range thing.
Okay.
That's like
that was also one of the deleted scenes.
Oh yeah.
And apparently it was in the trailer and they just like deleted it and didn't use it. So after he shoots like the thing, he walks up to the mascot and notice he's bleeding, takes off the head, and it's himself. And they're
saw
like
that
staring
clip.
at each other.
I feel like I
he's
remember
like laughing. Like the conquistador Cam is laughing and like shooter Cam starts crying and it's like and that was like a deleted scene.
Okay, thank you because I watched this yesterday and I was like, I thought I did a pretty good job. Like, not 100% watching every second because I got a little distracted because I was eating. But I was like, I do not remember him taking off the helmet and it being him. But I saw clips of it like all this morning while I was researching. Like, that clip kept coming up and I was like, was I drunk? Like, what happened? Anyway, that makes me feel better.
You're welcome.
But anyway, Conquistador Larry was a conquistador. Okay, that's not good. That's not good.
That makes the savior thing really feel like white saviory too.
Yeah. Oh, good point. Good point.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was their original. Oh, that's so fucked up. Well, it gets worse. It doesn't get worse, but it gets equally bad.
Bad in different ways.
Exactly. And so then the second one is Tinsel Larry. And so Tinsel Larry is the guy who's like all tinsel, but he's wearing the like cowboy kind of hat. But he also has like Native American ties and like it's Native American like arm bands on him. They're an artist named Chanupa from New Mexico. He worked with them to create this guy Tinsel Larry, and so he has like authentic like native like arm cuffs and like part of the hat design and stuff like that. So like they're like, oh, we're doing it better, like we're doing something different. It's not a conquistador, it's fine, but then it was still like using like important like native art and stuff on a fucking tinsel man. Like so it's like, you know, cheapening this like like beautiful work, and so it still was like not chill and not okay. So then they had to change it again in this fake history of the mascot of the Saviors. And then that finally led to the goat that you see at the end that's supposed to be a goat. No one would know. I thought it was a moth. Really thought it was a moth. It's like an avant-garde
goat, the greatest of all time.
Yes. So very on the nose again, because they're just,
I knew it was a goat.
they just keep doing that.
It's kind of Black Phillipy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Also, like,
Somebody said Baphomet. Tyreek Withers reported feeling, quote, eerie Baphomet vibes from certain scenes filmed in the house in the isolated New Mexico desert. So once again,
that
circling back.
like set that they had, like that place they found in New Mexico is so fucking cool.
They found
Yeah.
that place?
Yeah, they didn't build that one. It's only
It's not
$27
like a
million
set?
budget. Well, I mean, they filmed the scenes on the inside, like in different places. So some of it is a set, I'm sure. But like some of the hallways and stuff are like from um the football stadium. There's like a football stadium that has like these big, huge, crazy cement walls. That didn't like stand out to me that much, but I watched an interview with Justin Tippin with Nerdist. It was a really good interview. It's linked below. And yeah, he was like, they found that place and it was like so good that they used parts of it for like part of Isaiah's compound too, even though that's not necessarily like where that takes place. Um, so yeah.
I
But
just thought the outside of it, when we see him like walking in, it looks like you have a football and then it looks like they took like the top section here and the top section here and like
oh, I don't
flattened it
know.
out.
I
Well, I
don't know
thought that.
I don't know every set. I don't
Okay.
know every set. I don't, girl. I did 2 hours of research. I'm not
Oh, it's gone
17.
down from 5 from earlier.
Fuck off. I got up at 7 a.m. to do hours of research on this shit. Okay, so fuck off. um, but yeah, I thought that the mascot stuff was really funny because I was like, why are they there so many, and what does it mean? And it
hmm
just means that they have a history of being fucked up, as many football teams do, which is a great segue into the Native American history part that Isaiah talked about that I thought was so interesting. Had you guys heard about that before?
No, but it made me think about when I first learned that lacrosse was a sport played by Native American people that later got co-opted by white college Republicans.
The whitest of white people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I was like, that's the whitest sport of all time. I was like shocked when I saw that there was like a museum of lacrosse history in Maryland that is talking about how it has Native American origins. I was like, girl, I never would have guessed that for 1 second based on the cultural understanding I had of it at the time.
That doesn't
Yeah.
surprise me, actually. White people are, in
They
fact,
love to take.
they love to steal and co-op.
Well, I just think it just adds a layer of fucked upness that is just so insane to all of football history because like basically like football didn't have like that set of rules, and then they like there's the Carlisle Indians football team is what they're called in 1893 through 1917, and they were all like smaller build dudes just like Isaiah says in the movie playing against these fucking behemoth white dudes. And so like obviously they're not going to win on brute strength, so they had to get, creative. And so they came up with these cool trick plays and stuff. They created the forward pass. They created all these different things. And then like the fucking Gestapo came in and we're like, actually, we're gonna make rules now and outlaw half of this. So like to fuck them over because they were winning. And then some of it they, brought
Capped.
into the game and made it like the game that it is today. Um, I'm only speaking from my limited window of knowledge, but that's what I got from the videos that I watched. But yeah, but then this was the crazy part to me. Then all of the fucking like Native American or American Indian like fucking mascots and team names and all of that shit was supposed to be, I'm using big scare quotes here, honeys, homage to those people to pay tribute to them for like what they did for the sport. But in reality, they just used like caricatures of Native
Yeah.
Americans that were super fucking offensive. So they were trying to be like so sweet and thoughtful. There's scare quotes happening again. But they actually were just super fucking offensive, and then it turned into like making an entire race of people, literally a mascot, and people doing like all those fucking like hand signals and stuff at the games that are so offensive. I'm like, I just could not. I thought that it just like came from people being racist, but like the fact that like it came from them like trying to
Yeah.
do something nice again in scare quotes. Like it
That
makes
is
it worse
interesting.
somehow. It's not
here's the
crazy.
thing.
What's crazy to me.
I know like the Washington Redskins changed their name to the Washington Commanders, and the
Mhm.
family of the Native American like chief that they had as their logo actually wants them to change their name back. They were not actually offended by that, like, and they were like, it's kind of like that. It's just like the Chicago Blackhawks have like a native mascot as well, and they actually honor the native people and had like native artists like draw on it. The only one that was like truly egregious, the Cleveland Indians. And it wasn't even the name, it was
That
their
shit, that one
mascot.
was bad. That shit was
Like
bad.
the red face caricature thing.
Yeah.
So like
cartoon, very
yeah.
bad.
Well, that's what I kind of think is interesting is like if you don't know the history that Monica was just talking about, it seems like they're kind of doing a similar thing that you think that they're doing in this movie at first of just like gladiators, great warriors, Native American warriors. We embody their fighting spirits and we fight for football. And you could do a respectful homage if that's what you're trying to do, if you continue to honor and center the history of Native American contributions to the sport and involvement in the sport, but that has not persisted or really meaningfully entered the cultural consciousness. And again, not to be all America is so fucked these days, but it seems like kind of thing that Donald Trump would be like, take that off the NFL website if they like had the history on there. He'd be like, governmentwebsite.com, erase this web page. And let me just lionize all of the white heroes we've had all of the time in these roles. And I don't know. It's like one of those things where it's like if you're doing it as an homage, well, first of all, you need to remind people that that's what it is. You can't just use the name and be like, that's enough activism for today. And then move on with your like, that's enough. People will get it.
We did it. We did activism.
Yeah.
And it's over now. No,
I think we solved racism. I think all Native American people in America now feel like that is reparations for what we did when we colonized America. So we're good now, guys. We can move forward.
We're actually so fine.
But yeah, I mean, if that is your intention, then certainly you got to talk about it sometimes. You got to make sure people know that's why you're doing it, if that's why you're doing it, and you want people to know that's why you're doing it.
Yeah.
You can't bury that history.
I do appreciate this movie. Like, say what you want. I appreciate for like saying that though. It, like just bringing up this whole topic in general. Because again, educational moment for me, maybe for others listening too. Never like something I never knew. And also, yeah, just researching this in general, I learned so much about football. Not how it works, just how it started and how fucked up it is. But like, even though we were saying earlier how they don't really like dive into like the CTE thing. Oh my God, horrible thing that is happening to many people in this sport, and it's really, really sad. Like,
and also the military, if we're doing the military thing.
Right.
Yeah. But they do like touch on I do like the visual way in which they have the viewer experience the pain of being a football player. I really liked the scenes where beyond just the overall feel where you feel like you have a concussion that we already talked about. I really like the scenes where they're bashing into each other and it turns into x-ray and you see the blood and you see the pressure. I think
those are so cool.
His scar cracking and the football
the
of it all,
and also like the thermal imaging ones.
Yeah, and you can tell there's blood and like usually that's used to like PG-13ify it. When I first saw it, it reminded me of Final Destination. Which one is the bad one? 4. At the end when they didn't have any more budget to do the big crash scene and it just turns into skeletons being fucked up. At first it reminded me of that, so I was like, this is dumb. Then I was like, no, it's not dumb actually. It's really cool. It's really effective. It's really unsettling and I appreciate it because I would have vomited if I had to see more. And also, it's effective too because they're wearing helmets a lot of the time, so you wouldn't be able to really see what's going on. So I think it is a smart way to like make. Actually, it would have made it more horrific, um, than the alternative of not doing something like that because you wouldn't be able to like really see the effects. But I also loved that for costuming wise, they put them in cunty little tank top version, not tank tops, excuse me, crop top versions of the outfits while they're scrimmaging.
That's normal. A lot of football players will do crop tops, and I am thankful for that
Good.
every day. Even
I feel
like
like they
the big
really
boy linemen's too. Love to see it.
Loved
I feel like
it.
they leaned into the homoerotic nature of sports in this movie in a way that doesn't feel exploitative or like they're making fun of it. They're just like, it's here. These are your brothers. You live for them. You die for them on the field. You get naked together. Get naked in front of us right now. Why are you naked? No Pornhub, no PornTube, no
Grinder.
Grindr.
Yeah. Put this in your butthole. Like, although that shit was crazy.
So fucking
It's
funny.
like,
That was so funny. Julia Fox's character in this is where she'll just like say crazy shit and she's like in charge. She has that like in charge energy. She's like, I'm just gonna spout a bunch
girl
of crazy
boss.
shit, not give you 1 second to say one word, and then be like, toodaloo, motherfucker. Like, and
Right?
Pop
that's
this
it.
jade egg in your
Put it in
pussy
your
to maximize your
butthole.
orgasm because pleasure is an act of radical self-love.
Love.
The part when her assistant is like, and the other thing, and she's like, what? And she's like, oh, and $1 of each order goes to my foundation for endometriosis. So funny. I loved her in this. I thought she was a breath of fresh air and a comic relief that was necessary, though a little like jarring at times because she's so Julia Fox and the rest of the movie is so like vibey and she's like whenever she comes in. But I still liked it a lot.
Her presence combined with the visuals in this movie, I'm so sorry to say it, it does kind of give me like a Ryan Murphy All's Fair vibe, where it's just like opulence for opulence's sake at sometimes. It makes more sense in this
No, it's more
movie.
Euphoria.
Well, I don't watch that show.
Okay. Sydney, do you watch it? It's more Euphoria because it's more blurry and like drug addled and like you don't know what's going on kind of vibes. I don't know. I feel like in Ryan Murphy stuff that you like
I could
they're
see
not
it.
as messy.
Sure.
Anyway.
I'm just talking about how in All's Fair, they're like randomly serving cunt in the craziest outfit you've ever seen. And then they're also like, and I'm at my job to be lawyer right now. And it's like, girl, be so real.
Right.
They're just serving looks to serve looks. Yeah.
Party. So actually
are lawyers.
They had to get she's
just like randomly wearing like a
to,
little cowl hood.
She's
just
there
to walk
like
around.
Be a temptress and destabilize his relationship at home to ostracize him even more from people who actually care about him and get him more into this life of like fucking and getting what you want and having it all come to you but it not mean anything, like so he can be like, you know, fully indoctrinated into le cult.
It is interesting the way that he's kind of positioned to like inherit her as well. Like not only are you him and you get the position of him, it's like it comes with the wife. That could be your wife.
Can we talk about all the blood injections that they're doing throughout this movie?
I know, and they say that it's like pain meds or like I don't know, drugs to help him and it's fucking blood the whole time. That's crazy.
Like that's wild.
Nasty. It's the blood of Satan, okay? That's
you gotta pass it down, you know?
That's the juice right there.
I was wondering if it maybe is something a little different that is like prepping him for that though, because we only see it for a second after he goes to the party and then he wakes up on the ice table or whatever. It's like the blood bag that says Isaiah last name Washington or Williams on it.
White, I think.
Isaiah White, you're so right. It says that on it, and then he has the second one there. It has that little shrug emoji on it. That's what he was getting earlier, and it says "run," which is the note for Marco, who's like the person there that's trying to talk him out of it, essentially. and is also like the severed head on the table where it's like he's no longer there to try and protect you in any meaningful way.
I would like to say, last night when I was incredibly bonkers bananas,
toasted.
Yeah. When I saw that severed head, it did briefly look like my ex-boyfriend, and
I knew you were gonna say that.
Loved it. And I love the fact that now I have
I knew you
this
were gonna
movie
say
that
that.
looks like one ex-boyfriend, and then in Midsommar, the guy in the bear suit also looked like one of my ex-boyfriends. So now when I'm feeling like really
She's
dicey,
collecting.
I thought about that before, right? Yeah.
She's collecting imagery.
I
That's
can
so
go back
funny.
and
It's
watch.
cathartic.
Exactly.
So funny. Well, I do think that like even though he is trying to help him, he is under the sway of Zay and also the cult. I just wanted to say sway of Zay. And so, you know, he's told to give him whatever that injection is. He never explains what it is ever.
Well,
so
that's
that leads
kind
me
of
to
why
believe that it's like a micro dose and that's what's prepping him.
maybe it could be that they're like introducing little bits at a time into his bloodstream to like prepare him for the full transfusion so his body doesn't reject it if you're looking at it from like a vaguely medical perspective. But I
That
also
feels
was
like
wondering,
science.
yeah, and that would kind of make sense for him to take like the final one as like one last amp up to be fully ready to go. But it kind of feels like it's something different to me because he's like rejecting everything in that moment. So it's like, would he do the blood one last time just to go? I mean, maybe he like is
He
imbuing
doesn't
himself with
know.
the power to go out there. To me, it felt like maybe something that was making him more susceptible or like open to everything that's going around him, just like a little less able to look at it from a point of objectivity.
I think,
Just like
yeah,
a little
either
drug
whatever it is,
cocktail.
I think it has the same effect. Like if it's the blood or if it's something else, like it's making him more amenable to what's going on. Cause like, look at him, how many times he almost kills people. Once he starts taking the drug, he like bashes his head against that guy and he's like, "You're a fucking dead body." Like that guy is dead. Like he's destroyed. And then like he almost kills Marjorie. But then Isaiah finishes the job. That show was fucking crazy.
Their kiss before that was like so
Heated.
horrible. That was one of those flavor blasted moments that I was like,
I'm scared. Yeah.
And like the way she
her
just like
coming out from under.
Oh my god, so many good creepy crawly imageries.
Lost it.
And just the way that she's like shaking, like every time you see her on screen, like when she first sees Cam through the door and like she's like, "We don't want you," and like spits, not the door, through the windshield. She like spits on it and like she's like vibrating with rage afterwards. And then like her like vibrations with lust, making out with Zay for that 5 seconds before she is yeeted so hard she splats onto the wall. Like, ooh, that actress did a really fucking good job.
That's also maybe why I have small Ryan Murphy vibes, because that's Pepper from American Horror Story.
No way. No way. What's her name? Is it Naomi? Why do I remember that? I was really into American Horror Story.
Yeah, Naomi Grossman.
Oh my God. Wow. I'm proud of myself. Okay. Good, I'm holding on to that information. The name of Pepper from American Horror Story Asylum. Or was it Asylum?
She's in 2 seasons. She might have also been in Circus for a second.
Circus for sure. Circus. I don't know if she's in Asylum.
That was like the Pepper backstory.
I feel like she's
Pepper origin story.
I think she's in Asylum too.
I think so too.
I'll look it up in a
second.
second.
I agree. No, I agree.
I'll look it up right now, but we can talk about something else in the meantime.
But yeah, I mean, American Horror Story does a lot of like cultish and satanish things throughout their various seasons too. So it makes sense that there's just like a pull through thing there. But I don't know, it's so the way that they are just like building him up to this moment. I mean, the whole culture that he has been raised in, groomed in, as they admit in the
Mhm.
end. But the whole culture he's been groomed in has been pushing him to be like, follow orders, do what you're told, don't question things. We have your best interests in mind, so you have to just listen to us. And the second that you start to think for yourself or get your own ideas about what you want for your life, we're
Well, your dad's
taking
gonna die.
everything away. Yeah, the second that you tell your dad you don't want to play football, he has a ticking clock because that's the thing that's going to get you to feel guilty enough to go back to football. Is if he's been pushing this on you your whole life, this is what you equate him with is football, and then we take him away. He was still your father, even if that relationship is complicated. Now you're grieving. This is the thing that you did with him. This is the thing that makes you feel close to him, and now you have to really dedicate yourself to it because don't you feel like you failed him before?
Yeah, and now all of your family has like been like amping you up and like helping you through this for all these years, and don't you owe it to them to be successful, to make them, have a great life? Like, don't you owe it to them for after they've been by your side through everything? Like, there's just like so much immense pressure and like something that, again, I'm going to bring up heated rivalry. I'm so sorry. But
Never
like,
apologize.
I just watched the first episode again with podcast lawyer Alex. And I was watching like, sorry, spoilers for heated rivalry. I was watching some of the early scenes with Yuna and Shane, and Yuna's being like, oh, like importing, like she's supporting him and getting him all these brand deals, which are like making his brand all the better, bringing in more money. But she always is being like, remember how much this means to little Asian kids all over the world because you are the first like Asian Canadian face in the
Mhm.
NHL. And so it's like praise, like look how much you've done so well, you're at the top of your game and that's amazing, but it's pressure at the same time. So like praise and pressure, like they go hand in hand because it's like, look how far you've come, look what you're doing, you have to maintain it, you have to maintain it, you have to maintain it. And it's just like that's the stuff that Una was doing that made it so Shane didn't want to come out until he did because of the pressure that she was unwittingly putting on him. And that's a similar thing with Cam here, where like his family has been supporting him, but they're supporting him with this expectation that he's gonna succeed. And like he can feel that expectation even if they don't think that they're putting it on him because there's just so much pressure. It's the highest level of the game. Like I can't imagine being in his shoes.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. And then like he literally is smashed over the head with a hammer and he has to just pretend he's fine when the doctor was saying like you might never be the same again and he has to ignore it so he can continue to succeed. It's just like it's scary and his brain's not working because he
The
got big
dialogue.
smashed.
The dialogue in that scene is so crazy, where she's like, as his doctor, I can't tell you it's safe for him to play football. And he goes, and as a fan, like, it's
Mhm.
so built around this idea of him as this character almost, rather than like a living, breathing person, that he's even doing it to himself. Like, don't think about me as a person, think about me as a football player. And they do that beyond his family. Like, there's the training exercise and like day three leadership or something like that, maybe I don't remember. But the one where he's on the field and they've got the guy on the sidelines taking footballs to the face every single time that he doesn't throw and somebody have a catch that connects, like every single
But
time,
yeah,
whether it's his fault or the other guy's fault, this guy's getting a football to the face. His tooth is falling out. He's gonna fucking
Mhm.
die if you don't play well, and it's going to be your fault, and this is your responsibility, and that's your
that's the
teammate.
stakes for
His
every
blood is on
game.
your hands.
Yeah, it's like trying to imbue that that's the stakes for every game. Like everyone else's like life is on the line. Like if he doesn't do it, like obviously more metaphorically on the average game, but like in this case, literally. Ugh. It's such an interesting movie because like we're talking about this and it sounds really good. And then you watch it and it's just like
I
it's
like
kind
it.
of I like it too, but it is kind of hard to watch. So, like similar with okay, not similar to what Sydney was saying, but Sydney brought this up and it made sense to me that there's a slew of deleted scenes and alternate ending, which I can't wait to hear about that. But like when I was watching it at times, I was like, okay, so where's the scene that leads up to this? Because Julia Fox is just here now. It's just like it seems disjointed at times, and like I could have done with a little bit more plot, a little bit more description as we're going, just to like, I don't know, smooth out the edges a little bit. But again, that's why I liked that tidbit about it being from a concussed person's perspective, where things are disjointed and it's not necessarily all flowing together because he has had a traumatic brain injury. That makes me like it so much more and makes it make sense to me, and it validates it a lot. It doesn't make it a more pleasurable viewing experience for me, having watched it 2.5 times. Like,
Yeah,
it's still
I will say
like
there's like
a jarring experience as a watcher.
there is one cut moment where I like went back like 2 times to be like, is my internet skipping or something? Like, is it that jolty of
Yeah,
like a
what part
transition,
was
or
it?
is it a technological flop? There's one moment, it's got like Marlon Wayans is on screen doing something, and then it's like cut to the desert or something like that. I think it's one of those moments where it was like it felt so like in the middle of a scene. But again, in light of the concussion thing, and I don't know, I'm really married now to the idea that the injection is some sort of drug cocktail that is like psychedelic, blowing his mind out a little bit or whatever,
Yeah.
just to make him vulnerable.
Yeah.
That's a lot of what that is it's just like you don't know where you are necessarily 1 second to the next until you look up and you're somewhere different now. Like you think you're somewhere and then you turn around. That scene in the hallway where it's so I just okay. It's not the most amazing movie, but I think they do a lot of really interesting cinematography and like
Totally.
camera shots. This scene
I
where
agree.
he's in the hallway and it's like the doorway behind him and a larger doorway in front of him or something like that, and he looks like so isolated and alone, and then you see a shadow pass in front of the frame, and then you see the goat slowly appear out of the darkness behind him, and then it like cuts to photographers and they're taking pictures and they're shouting at him and blah blah blah, and like he's in the scene where he's partying with Julia Fox and the women, and it's like, but you can hear his mom's voice speaking over it, being like, love you, baby, hope you're having a good time, blah, blah, blah. The way it's like counterbalancing all of these different things, I think it's so interesting. And so it's very art house, but in a way that I really like, and I like them like marrying these two different spaces together.
I love an art house horror movie. That's some of my favorite ones. I think it was like a expectations over reality issue, and I feel like that's, like we already said, the same thing that a billion million people, I don't know if a billion million people saw this, but a lot of people felt going into it. Like, you don't expect this movie when you think of a football horror movie. Who could?
I feel like people talked about it. Am I making this up? Did people talk about it as like the substance for boys?
I think I might have heard that.
That something is happening in my brain, a little tingle that of memory, of recognition.
Like, obviously it's not,
is.
but I can see how someone is saying that. Like, for women, it's youth and beauty, and for men, it's like physical stamina and
masculinity
and praise and being adored by hundreds
girls
of
are celebrity
and
boys are athletes, and
a tough dude over everything else. Like,
you'll destroy your body in the quest to be number one.
Yeah, 100%.
What was the SpongeBob thing? Smitty
Workermaker
something. He was number one. Oh, Monica, I'm so sorry. The Seahawks
Smitty
one.
Something Burger Ham Jensen or something like that.
Yeah,
that's not exactly
number one. Seahawks one, Monica. I'm so sorry.
Smitty Werben-Jagerman Jensen.
Yeah.
My dad's gonna be so sad. I'm gonna keep my hat on.
The best.
I'm gonna wear it tomorrow, and everyone's gonna hold hands as we walk down the street in Los Angeles and go. It'll be like that part in The Grinch where the Grinch is like, and all the Who's down in Whoville are gonna go boo hoo. That's what's gonna happen in LA tomorrow.
The end is like really fun because, like, one, the fight between him and Isaiah at the end, when he broke an arm, I was like, I hate watching bones.
That was an authentic gag.
Like, I hate watching bones being broken. Like, I don't like it. I can't
even think about it.
But I love watching bones.
I love Bones.
Temperance Brennan.
Yeah, I love Bones TV show. I don't like broken bones. Um, but like the whole the whole end with the party and stuff like that feels like such a fever dream.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Because
Like,
he's fucked out of his mind. He's vomiting up opulence,
Chains.
literally.
right?
Like diamond chains and gold. Like, I don't know if it's like he's indulging on like all of the riches. Like, I think it's like, again, an overt, like a you over the head with it thing. Like, he's like OD'd on opulence. And so he's vomiting up jewels, like that kind of a thing. So, okay, a little overt, but I liked it. Tyriq can do anything.
I'm trying to not conflate the two endings.
Okay.
But so
Do you
like
want to talk about the one that actually happened first and then do the alternate endings?
yeah, that's what I'm trying to make sure that I get them straight. I'm like, what happened in the first one?
He
Like
bashes him with the
he
helmet.
yeah, and so we assume he is dead because he just got like beat, and then he walks out with
You assume
cheerleaders.
Isaiah is dead.
Yeah,
Okay.
like he's killed the old, he is the new, and he walks
new
out, and it kind of looks like the birth of Venus a little bit. The way that he's like standing
A
and
new
like
god rises.
he's like not covering himself, but like the pose that he's like in and all that kind of stuff, like really
That must be the football field I was talking about with the big cement walls. It
Yeah,
must be
has to
that
be.
scene. That must be what it is. I was like, what part is that from? Keep going. Sorry.
And you know, Julia Fox characters there like sign our book, very satanic. Everybody, the devil always has a book you must sign. And
Pig
everybody
masks.
right, and everybody's sitting there in their little like jaunty masks, and he basically kind of makes a decision like, fuck no, I don't want all of this, and kills everybody, like fucking kills everybody. Well, Julia Fox kills herself.
That shit was hilarious.
Jesus trips. Yeah.
She just tripped.
She's like, oh, I have to do everything here, including kill myself with the knife.
And if I'm remembering correctly, because he doesn't do it, there's still a pact that must be made. The devil must claim a soul, and so it takes the agent.
It takes Tim Heidecker.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. It like pulls him onto the like satanic circle, whatever.
Yeah.
And then
the altar,
the sacrificial altar. Yeah.
and then the most epic fucking walk-off scene ever in any movie. Sorry. He's looking so sexy, covered in blood, and the like the fucking planes are flying behind him with the chemtrails that are the US flag. And then there is an explosion of blood in the background, and he's just walking away with his fucking hammer. Oh God, what a visual.
And then it's done. And then in the alternate ending, we see Marlon Wayans is alive and is like disabled, right? Like, because he's been beaten. Like, he is like
his eyeball squished.
Like, his hand is like with the fucked up. His like eyes are droopy. He's not able, like, somebody is like giving him medication and he can't hold it, so he's having to do this. But he's sitting in the middle of his training field watching Cam win his first or the big game.
His first of the big game.
Yeah, his first the big game.
Owl.
No.
And
can't stop me.
But so it's like, okay, Cam took the deal. And he's sitting there.
But did he, or did he just do it on his own?
I feel like the fact that Isaiah is still alive in that version implies that he didn't, because if he did, then it has to be like the death of one for the birth of the other is kind of the way that they lay it out. And he keeps saying like, you cheated. I worked for everything that I earned. That's his whole thing, is like he wants to do it on his own merits, which is, I think, part of why I am like, the injection is drugs. It's not blood, because then that undercuts that theme a little to be like, oh, but I'm gonna use it one more time.
He doesn't know what it is.
He doesn't know
No.
what it is. I agree.
He doesn't know what it is. So
he wins
like,
it for the Saviors, so he did sign that contract.
in the
Saviors.
Oh, like
yeah.
the alternate ending. It's not like it comes after the ending that we see. It's like instead of the ending that we see.
Yeah. Like he wins the Saviors the big game. And so he's not going to do that by himself.
He accepts his role of savior.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm glad they didn't do that ending. I like the ending that they did. I think it is super interesting. I like him because I think that is one of the things that's so complicated about the, again, racial nature of sports in America. Um, is there's this like narrative that for a lot of people, the primary way to reach this level of wealth is by being an athlete and potentially destroying your body, potentially destroying your mind. Also, if you get concussions, if you have CTE, it's like you have to sacrifice your whole self to get here. Meanwhile, yes, you're making millions, but the only reason you're making millions is because the rich white men who own the team are making 12 times that bare minimum, and they don't have to put their bodies on the line. They don't have to do anything other than find new people to exploit and who are desperate to reach this level or to get out of their circumstances and give them the encouragement, minimally the resources needed to get to that point. So for him to be standing there, for them to look at it, it felt very I think part of the problem with the expectations people had for this movie was that Jordan Peele's name was attached to it, but it is not Jordan Peele's movie. And so people just went in expecting kind of this similar thing instead of realizing that he's a producer and his production company was part of this movie, but he
people
wasn't the
never
writer or
understand
the
that
director.
distinction.
Yeah.
But it does have some very similar themes to Get Out of like the white men don't have a problem with your body. They just have a problem with you as a human person of equal value. So it's not that we have an issue using your body and exploiting
No.
your body and using that for our means and our designs.
What does that sound
And
like?
yeah, I mean they talk about like they don't really get into slavery as a subject in this movie, but there are little moments where it comes up in the dialogue. And it's in the Star Spangled Banner. I didn't look up if that's like an original verse of the Star Spangled Banner that they are chanting at the end, or if the Star Spangled Banner is longer than the version that usually gets sung at football fields. Um, but it has the word slave in it in that part. They say, and where is that band who so vauntingly swore that the havoc of war and the battle's confusion, a home and a country, should leave us no more? Their blood has washed out their foul footsteps' pollution. No refuge could save the hireling and slave from the terror of fight or the gloom of the grave. And the star-spangled banner in triumph did wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
We don't sing that at football games, I can tell you that.
Yoikies,
Well, I know they don't think that at football
yoikies.
games, but I was like, is that song longer or more fucked up than I knew? I don't.
Yeah,
So they just sing an excerpt.
Yeah, that's a little crazy.
Okay. Also, the alternate ending is called Isaiah's Nightmare.
Yeah.
And so throughout the movie, like, because he's at what, like a week-long training camp with Isaiah. And each day it's like titled something different,
Yeah.
right? Like you get a thing, but
Day 2, poise.
Yeah. The sixth and the seventh they like bleed together in the end, like the main ending. So there's not a seventh title. And so in the end credit scene for the alternate one, you get a day 7 and it's called Resurrection. And he is in the locker room, like after like Isaiah was watching him like give a speech to stuff. And so this is like immediately after that. And he's in the locker room, like celebrating with his teammates. And he says like something about a note about like wanting to thank his mentor Isaiah, and then he like looks down and he sees the spinning football that he saw like right
at the
before he got
beginning.
hit in the head, and then it ends.
Interesting. That feels a little like Inception-y with like the totem. Is the top
I
still
don't
spinning?
like that he still takes the deal in all these ones, but I guess they got to do it. They got to try it both ways or whatever.
Just to see
It's
what
an
sticks in the
enticing,
edit.
Yeah.
yeah, it's an enticing deal, But then, like, look how fucking sad Zay is whenever you see him. Like, there's that scene, like, for just a second where they, like, show Zay on the day that he won the most recent Super Bowl and he's in the uh dugout is not the term. Locker room, got there.
So close.
And he's like sad sitting on the bench and Julia Fox is like down like in front of him like trying to console him and like everybody else is celebrating and there's fanfare and then she just leaves him too and he's left there alone and like the champagne bottle like ricochets towards him. And so like even in his moments of great success, he's lonely. Again, it's the lonely at the top shit. Um but like, he is unlike anyone else. Nobody else has got a deal with the devil. Poor
Sure.
guy.
And also what I think is so interesting about him and the parallels of him and Cameron Cade um is they lay it all out there at the end where he's like, it's not my blood, it's my mentor's blood and his mentor's blood. Like, this is the blood of him, the fierce warrior that we're like passing down. It's not my blood anymore. I'm not even hardly myself anymore in that way. I am the embodiment of this spirit that they're putting into me because they've raised my body to be this vessel. And we see that with the grooming of Cam Cade. But Zay says at one point that he didn't have any family. He's alone in the world other than his wife, Julia Fox, who, once we see the way that she's positioned at the end with Cam, we can imagine he didn't find her on his own either. She was probably similarly kind of assigned to him, possibly in a sort of like a orphan black chaperone sort of way. Where she's there, she works with the industry, she works with the head honchos, and is kind of guiding things and keeping them in line. Yeah, I'm here to supervise, I'm here to report back, I'm here to motivate as needed. I'm here to now hang out with your younger rival to fuel the fires of this competition. That heated rivalry between the two of you. Yeah. Remember the scene where they fucking nasty? I do like this scene with the gun. And he's like slobbing on that knob for that 1 second.
Oh my God, I forgot.
And then he's like,
I
love you, as he like puts it against him. It's so complicated.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think that is part of why we can see that Cam is able to resist it, because even though he's been groomed for this since he was the sweet tiny little baby we saw in the beginning of the movie, he does have this outside support system where you can imagine that Zay did not.
Yeah. So
and they thought they were like, as long as we get his dad on the team, maybe his brother on the team, that'll work for us. But he has mom, he has girlfriend, he has these other people that he's thinking of mom in that moment with all of the women dancing around right in front of the scene where Marjorie got her head smashed into the fucking stone.
Yeah.
Mommy's voice is with him.
Yeah. Well, are we ready to move into our
segmentos?
Okay, the age-old question, how could this movie be gayer?
There's a lot of gay stuff going on.
Yeah. Why did Zay bring up Grindr?
Why did Tom offer to suck his dick at the end to save his life? Obviously. But Tom offered to suck his dick at the end.
Uh-huh. If it's suck somebody's dick or blow up.
Mm-hmm. I don't think Tom is gay, but I think he would suck a dick for professional advancement for sure.
100%.
What was that? Do you remember? It was like Fire Island.
Firefest, the Firefest
that
guy.
failed thing, and that guy was like, "Well, if I gotta suck a dick for all these water puffs."
That guy is an icon, and I adore him.
I would like to see some heated rivalry, gay level sex between like a male orgy between Cam and all of the other younger football players that they brought in would have been great for me. Instead of like Julia Fox and the other like girl dancers in bikinis, it should have been male orgy. I'm just saying. This movie's called Him.
Yeah.
Him, and it's all of the hymns.
I find Tyriq Withers to be one of the most charming men I've come across in person.
Sweet
I'll
face.
say that in my review.
Yes.
When I do my reaction, I'll talk about that more. But I find him to be a magnetic person all around, and so who wouldn't have homoerotic feelings towards him if they saw him, if they were a man?
Also,
the one thing that's
love that he was shirtless for like so much of this movie. It was
Body
respectfully
tea.
looking, you know?
Respectfully, body tea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Body yada yada.
There's a quote from Marlon Wayans on the IMDb trivia that's basically like, yeah, we both did boot camp to like bulk up for this movie, but he showed up bulked already. And it was great for me as an actor to get into the headspace of being bitter as hell that I don't look like that and he looks like that.
That's so funny. He looked amazing. He was so good in this. Like, Justin Tipping. Is that his name? The director, he like picked Marlon because he was like, I know he can do the improv and comedy bits of this too, because there's a lot of like funny shit that Zay says, like, and like really funny delivery, like the scene we were just talking about with the gun and stuff. Like that was a crazy scene, and he was all over the place in that. And so I think he brings that energy to it. But like, it's so great to see him doing a more serious role, and he's so good, and I love him. Oh, this is the right time. And let us not forget that Marlon Wayans has a trans son. His name's Kai. We love him. Anyway, and he's like a big proponent, like for trans rights, and talks about it all the time and supports his son. And yeah,
we love a man, okay?
Yeah. I mean, it's so beautiful because again, we talked about this when we did Scary Movie. There's obviously a lot of problematic humor in those movies. But some people
Kay uses they them pronouns. I'm sorry.
But and I checked, he is referred to, or they are referred to many times as Marlon Wayans' trans son. So trans son is an appropriate word choice, but Kai does
using they them pronouns. Okay, keep going. Sorry.
Yeah, gender, blah, blah, blah. It's complicated. Everybody has their own way of identifying.
Exactly.
And that's beautiful. And it's beautiful that Marlon Wayans was able to be the kind of parent who can embrace that and learn about it and be one of the celebrities on the forefront saying, why would I care? Why would I be a dick about this? I love my child. All I want is to love my child and for my child to be happy. And all I want to do is to advocate for them to be able to live a happy life as themselves.
But also, like what I'm looking at right now, apparently he like did not have the wokest mindset about this at first, and then he talks about his transition as a parent, in scare quotes, like to become
better
that for his son and to be the parent that he needed to be, that they need.
Right. No, I mean, I didn't quite say that before, but I think that is kind of, you know, you're not always where you need to be, but that is what is so beautiful about his advocacy is that he wasn't already this person who was like, you can be whatever you want and here are all of the options available to you. And also if you come up with something new and exciting, I can't wait to hear it. It's like he had these very fixed ideas, but then when presented with a child who didn't meet his fixed ideas of what he thought that they would be or the kind of person that they would become or the kind of person that you're allowed to be, he was like, but I love my child and so I will go on the journey that allows me to learn how to be supportive of them and advocate for them. And I just think, especially within the context of the humor that we saw in Scary Movie and stuff like that, to be the kind of person who is not digging your heels in and being like, it's just a joke, it's just funny, it's just whatever, to be like, I love my kid and I'm not going to apologize for that. Like, that is meaningful. On another note, something that's not gay about this movie is that the jade whatever that she makes for men, she says put it in your butthole. Do not put that in your
Do
butthole.
not
There's
gotta
no
have a
flared
butthole.
base on there.
No flared base, and also it's very pointy all around, which I just feel like would be uncomfortable
your
on insertion
Anus.
and potentially dangerous on insertion. So don't listen to Julia Fox in this place. Anyway, any more
I was
gay
listening
thoughts
to
you'd
the
like
radio
to
a
share?
lot. I was listening to the radio a lot in December. This is just a little platform for me to say something I've been mad about for a month. And they were making jokes, or they were talking to somebody who worked in a hospital about like the weird things people find or they find in people's butts or whatever. And they made some joke about how in West Hollywood, that's probably like all of the 911 calls or whatever. And I was like, you stupid bitch. That's not
In
happening in
West
West Hollywood where they
Hollywood-
know to put something with a flared base in there, but that's happening in the suburbs of Indiana or whatever, where
Yeah.
men don't know, but
In
they look at
WeHo,
something and they're like,
we're
I bet that would
educated.
fit in my butt.
In WeHo, they're professionals, okay?
And they know what they're fucking doing. If you're gonna talk shit about the gay community, at least get it right, you stupid idiot.
You sound like a fucking dumbass right now.
You sound like
Are
you
you
don't know what you're
happy?
talking about. Anyway, that worked for Julia Fox's character.
Anyway. Okay, we're moving on now to Matthew Lillard. And I would like to nominate him being the doctor. I think that would be a really, really fun
Marco?
space for him.
I would
Because
like to
you
see-
cannot pry Tim Heidecker out of this movie not with my dead hands. What am I saying? You know what I'm getting at.
You
though.
know when you die and you go into rigor mortis and your hands get really stiff? You couldn't even use those to pry
couldn't
Tim
use my dead
Heidecker out
hands.
of this movie.
Okay. I also don't want him to be the doctor because then I won't get to see a man who looks like my ex-boyfriend decapitated at the end.
That's true.
You can't
Well,
take you
use
can
the
pry
same
that
head.
out of my cold dead hands, Monica.
You can't use my dead hands to pry that. He can be him can be the guy who gets hit in the face 400 times with the ball machine.
Or-
He could be the guy who comes gremlin style out of the shadows with the
No.
mariachi hat.
No. He could be one of Marjorie's sperm guys.
He's actually playing both
Mm.
twins.
Yeah.
Those are her twin sons.
Yeah, it's just both Matthew.
They're
Or
both
Matt,
Matthew
that's
Lillard.
it. That's it. We found it.
That's fun.
That's perfect.
That is fun.
Okay, dumb bitch. That's hard for this one. Julia Fox gets a nom because she stabs herself in the neck.
Yeah, that's
but
real dumb
she's-
bitch behavior. She
and
just
she's
falls over.
Advocating a non-flared
Okay.
base
I also
butthole jade egg.
hate to do this, but like the dad kind of gets a nom for me because like why are you agreeing to sign your child up who doesn't get a say in this?
Yeah, no,
Right?
I agree,
Like-
actually.
Yeah, it
Sorry
feels
that
like
he's
we don't
dead,
know
but,
what's
like-
going on with the dad. We don't know how like aware of the fact that he was making a literal deal with the devil, or if it was just like your toddler son has got some real promise out on those pee-wee football fields. If we start now, we can make sure he's a superstar by the time
Yeah.
he gets older. And the dad is like,
Because he does
yeah, but
get
it feels
killed by
very
them.
like it's not my dream, dad, it's yours kind of thing. And those dads are always dumb bitches.
Mhm.
I think that the most obvious choice is that old man who gets decapitated, who is the owner of the team.
Oh yeah.
Because he's the mover and shaker. Not that we see him so much, but
Yeah.
I know it's his fault.
But we
or
know he's
largely
there.
in part his fault.
It's
and he
also,
didn't even
again,
put
that
up a
idea
fight
that,
when he
like-
was being decapitated, which I thought was
Mhm.
lame.
It's that same idea of like, oh, you think just because you have all of the wealth and power in the world that no one is ever going to tell you no? Guess what? People have autonomy and people are sometimes going to make their own decisions. You can't control for everything around you just because you have means of manipulating people.
Mm-hmm. Dumb bitch.
Dumb
The
bitch.
bitch.
Okay, it's time for our knives out of fives. Chelsea, they got A pluses all around, right?
Yeah, everybody loved it.
Everybody
Everybody said,
loved
I
it.
love this movie.
They
This
gave
is
it
great.
10 out of 10.
Yeah. On IMDb, this movie got a 5.0 out of 10. And then on Rotten Tomatoes, it has 30% from critics, which is rotten, and it only has 56% from audiences, which is also rotten. So it is interesting to see that audiences liked it a significant margin more than critics did. Much more of the regular audience was receptive to it than critics were. Um, but no, it did not get well received. It didn't really, make the awards circuit as you might imagine, but it did have one nomination for like the Golden Trailer Awards for the trailer. Um, and it was nominated at the Black Reel Awards for Outstanding Breakthrough Performance for Tyriq Withers, Outstanding Cinematography for Kira Kelly, and Outstanding Editing for Taylor Joy Mason. And I also would like to highlight all of those things because I think, like I said, I thought the cinematography was like so gorgeous in this movie. I thought Tyriq did a great performance. And the editing being able to like seamlessly melt all of these things together. Some of those cuts are kind of jarring, although we've talked about how that's on purpose and what purpose it serves. But to like effortlessly shift between the not live, but the like real person footage and the x-ray footage and the thermal imaging footage, I think that is really well done. So I think those noms are all deserved.
Amazing. And I think you should just keep going because you already started your review.
Yeah, I mean, I really like this movie. I think it is super interesting. I had fun because it's doing a lot of cool visual stuff. So I'm like just sitting there just receiving it, you know what I mean? But I think there's like interesting themes in there to critically engage with. I think everyone is doing a really good job. I think that it will be looked a lot better on in hindsight than it was when it came out. I think it is just one of those things where people didn't really know or weren't really prepared for what they ended up getting. But I like it. I think it is a really interesting, beautiful movie. I think some of what we're talking about, a lot of the imagery is super heavy-handed, but there's a lot of really interesting like Christ stuff at the end. It's not just the like Last Supper of it all, but it's also like right before that, there's like this lighting rig behind him in the football field that also is kind of giving like crown of thorns. The club that they go to is called Creation. He's like the anointed son as they're all sitting there like watching him drink the wine. I think there was a lot of hard work and intention that went into the creation of this movie that really paid off. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna give it like 4.2 knives.
Nice. Sid, do you want to go next?
I'm giving this a 3.5 out of 5. Like this movie scared the shit out of me the first time I watched it, and it was my own.
Oh my God, if
fault.
you could have ever said what movie should I not watch after taking 40 milligrams of movie supplement, I would say don't watch him.
That's my PSA from this movie, or do it, if you want to be a little freak like me.
I think for your second viewing, it would be so fun. I think for your first viewing, scaly.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I wish I flipped it and reversed it, but then I'd have to do this podcast.
Yeah.
And then I'd just be like, la, la, la. But like, Marlon Wayans is so fucking good. Put him in more serious.
He's fantastic.
I'm his number one fan from now on.
And he's a hot bitch.
Yeah, and
that earring.
Like,
keep going. Sorry.
I want to see Tyriq Withers and more stuff. Like, I want to see more from this director too. Like, I kind of like
tipping.
Yeah, like I had a really good time. Again, some of it was heavy-handed and like it didn't really hit the mark, but like I still had a really good time.
That's great. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think the first time I watched this was in theaters by myself in the middle of the day, and there was a girl who was sitting next to me, and she was talking out loud like the movie would respond to her as the movie progressed. She was right behind me, and she'd be like, "Girl, what the fuck is going on?" Like blah blah blah, like really loud yelling at the movie. And so I was filled with like blind rage for the like half of this movie until I snapped and I turned around and I was like, "Girl, can you talk quieter?" And she like out loud yelled, "Nobody tells me what to do." And guess what she did for the rest of the movie? She talked fucking quieter. She whispered the whole rest of the movie. So I was like, I guess I do tell you what to do. So don't be like her. So I had like a intense first viewing when I saw it in theaters because I was just so fucking annoyed the entire time. Like whenever something was crazy, she would say that very loudly. And I was like, yes, girl, it's a crazy movie. It's a horror movie. I love you. React inside of your own self. Anyway, so that made it a little difficult the first time. And again, my expectations were not met because I could never have expected what this movie
It's hard
turned
to
out
set
to
you
be.
up for success.
Yeah. And like the trailer really heavily focused on that gore scene with the ball hitting guy in the face over and over again. And that I feel like leads you to believe this is a more physical gore type of movie, which it is in a lot of ways, but it's not in a lot of ways too. It's much more psychological, I think we can agree, than that. So it's a little all over the place. But watching it again yesterday, I had a good time and researching it made me love it a lot more. That's what really made me like it was like learning more about the process and honestly the concussion thing changed everything for me. So that was huge. This is the like major studio debut for Justin Tipping. This is his very first feature length film. And I think he did a really good job. I think he has really cool vision. I don't think it's a perfectly polished film, so I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. I still really liked it. I thought it was really good. I think that it could be improved upon. But I'm not a fucking director, so I can't tell you exactly how, but it just didn't totally mesh. And there's obviously a gap between the audience expectation and reality. And I think that is an issue on a marketing perspective, and that there should have been something there to like make people more prepared for what they're going to receive. But now I'm going to gush about Tyriq Withers. Tyriq Withers was so great in this movie. He is absolutely a stunning man. We can all agree that on that. But like I'm glad that he got this role. And like Sydney, you're saying I want to see more of him. Oh girl, don't worry. This boy is booked and busy. I will be sat for his melodrama movie where he stars opposite Micah Monroe, the romance
Oh
movie.
yeah, the
Like
new
Reminders
Colleen
of
Hoover.
You. It's like a Colleen Hoover. I don't fucking care.
I will be sad. No, it looks
I'm
interesting.
so in for that. Are you kidding me? And like as you guys, I don't know if I've said this explicitly on the pod, but like I work red carpet events all the time as like a talent liaison, and I've worked in that field for like years. And he's like absolutely a standout of one of the like nicest, most like gregarious, magnetic people that I've worked with. Like I was his liaison. Absolutely a sweetheart, super nice, very chatty, talked to me like I was a person, which was doesn't always happen. People are busy, so it's fine. But it was really cool, and he was there to support a friend who was like in the show that it was for, and it was that friend's like first time walking down the red carpet, so he was gassing his friend up, teaching him how to do it. He was so gracious with fans. He was so sweet. So like I couldn't be rooting for him more. Like he is stunning, like 6'5", and I think he's actually got great acting chops. So I'm glad he had this role right after I Know What You Did Last Summer reboot over the summer too, because I feel like that didn't really like
Showcase
showcase
him.
anything about
Yeah.
him besides the fact that he's hot.
He did some
And that his
interesting
character
stuff
was
in
such
it,
a
but he was so
dick.
background.
Yeah, so like yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to what he's got going on in the future. So 4 out of 5 knives. And that's the end of him. And I hope you enjoy the big game, the superb owl. And I don't care about it anymore because the Rams lost. And so fuck everyone. And I don't care what happens. I'm just gonna get drunk when the game happens.
We're gonna be
But
eating chicken wings.
Okay, next up, we are doing a movie that again, oh, are you shocked? Are you surprised? It came out in 2025. And some might say that it's divisive. No, I don't know. It's not that divisive. But it is a true indie. Chelsea and I saw it back right when it came out, and we got to actually see a Q&A with the director, Mercedes Bryce Morgan, which was really cool. She seems like someone who would be our friend. So it's cool to see someone who's like our peer creating horror movies. But this is a fun one. It's silly. Go in with low expectations, and I think you'll have a riotous time. It's Bone Lake.
Bone Lake.
Don't take yourself too seriously, and I think we'll have a laugh next week. I think you'll have quite a few laughs.
You could have 40 milligrams before that one.
That's literally exactly what I was about to say. You can definitely do 40 milligrams and then watch this. You'd be fine.
Maybe that's how we need to introduce every movie. Just like a little warning, like you can or maybe don't.
Maybe don't.
Maybe don't. Maybe second watch.
Maybe second watch. This one, first watch, it's okay. But anyway, why don't you say something nice to Sydney after her traumatic event in a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts? Say, I'm so sorry you got so scared, girl. Maybe try 30 milligrams next time. 5 stars, though. Or just a 5-star rating on Spotify also works. We love that. Or also, why not follow us on social media? Chelsea is doing crazy shit on the TikTok right now, okay? We're doing numbers on shorts. I don't know if y'all noticed that. This has never happened before. We're doing numbers on shorts now. So it's big. So you might as well follow along. We're at Spooky_Tuesday on pretty much everything except for Facebook and Tumblr, where we are at Spooky Tuesday Pod. Check out our website, spookytuesdaypod.com, one-stop shop for everything, a list of every episode and every movie we've ever covered. Check that shit out. And also join us on Patreon. You could get a shout out that leads to Sydney having a dream about you if you join our Patreon. We can't guarantee that we'll have a dream about you, but
that's your best chance.
You make an impression, something could happen. So join us on Patreon. Again, platonic cuddling is happening there. And also we are on YouTube, as we just said. And today
we're so cute.
We are really
girls.
Cute. We're so cute.
I was having a really good hair day, and I put on my Rams hat to beat a theme. So sacrifices are being made. And Sydney is the cutest Auburn fan that ever did live.
Forever and always. My hair is so dirty, so I had to put a beanie on.
Girl,
what we can say, it looks shiny and beautiful.
Exactly, it looks good.
Greasy.
And Chelsea is her beautiful self, and she looks stunning.
And he's like, if my hair was faded a little bit more, maybe I could have tried to be Julia Fox, but we're in a very pastel pink right now.
I like the pastel pink on you.
Thank you.
Really nice. Anyway, that's it. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you next Tuesday.
Bye, Spookies.
Spooky Tuesday was created by Monica Height, Sydney Thompson, and Chelsea Duff, and edited by Sydney Thompson. Our gorgeously spooky tunes are all thanks to Tamara Simons, who you can follow on Instagram at Great18. That's GR818_. And our podcast art is by Ryan Brom, who you can follow on Instagram at Ryan Brom Art. That's RyanBrommArt. Learn more about Spooky Tuesday at spookytuesdaypod.com and subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/spooky_Tuesday.